Welcome to Module 1, Lesson 5. Today we're going to be working between expanded, standard, and word form of numbers using the place value chart to help us out. So here's one type of problem going to expanded form from what's called standard form. Standard form is just the normal way we write numbers, and we'll see in a minute what expanded form is. So I have 27 and 156 thousandths, so I'm just going to go ahead and write this on my place value chart. And my decimal point is right there. And expanded form is just a way of taking each digit and telling its value. So that 2 happens to be in the tens place, so that 2 is worth 2 groups of 10. So that's that first digit. The second number, a 7, is 7 groups of 1. That's that number. Now I have this 1 here. That is a 1 group of, now I have a choice. I can do this as a decimal or a fraction. First time out I'm going to do it as a decimal. That's 1 group of a tenth. Now I still have this 5 here. So I have 5 groups of a hundredth. And then finally I have this 6. I'm going to have to move on down here, but I have 6 groups of a thousandth. So that would be an expanded form. I just took each of these digits and told their value, and of course this whole number is just the sum of those. I have 2 tens, 7 ones, 1 tenth, 5 hundredths, and 6 thousandths. Now I did say that there was another way to do this. The first whole number part is exactly the same. I have 2 groups of 10 plus 7 groups of 1. Now when I go to the decimal part, I can call this 1 group of, I can do it as a fraction, tenths plus 5 groups of hundredths plus 6 groups of a thousandths. And so that would be that problem there. If my number was a little different, say this this 1 here was actually a 0, and so that's a 0. When I was writing it, I would do my 2 tens and 7 ones. I wouldn't bother with the 0 times a tenth there. So this part would just not be there. We would just eliminate that as we wrote it. So it would go to 2 times 10 plus 7 times 1 plus 5 times a hundredth plus 6 times a thousandth. Now going to word form, I'm just going to write it in words the way you would say it. So this is 27 and 156 thousandths. Now, what are the steps to reading this number? Well, the first step is that you say the whole number part, in this case 27. Then you say the word "and" for the decimal point. Next, you say the number after the decimal point, 156. Then you say the name of the place of the last digit in the number. So I have tenths, hundredths, thousandths. That's 156 thousandths. So again, word form for this number is 27 and 156 thousandths. Notice the only time I used that word "and" was when I was telling you where the decimal point is. And that's all there is to it. Going the other direction's not any harder. I'm looking for that key word "and." So I have 27 and, there's my decimal point, 156 thousandths, and I have to make sure my last digit was indeed in the thousandths place. One thing to look out for is, in this case, that last place there, that are your digits going to be in the decimal part of the number. So I have 48, and, so there's my decimal point, 48, and now it's 6 hundredths. It's tempting to put the 6 right here. That's 6/10. And even if I added a 0 here, that's 60 hundredths. So I got to be careful. It's 6 hundredths. I don't have any tenths. I have 6 hundredths. So that 6 has to go in the hundredths place right here. I have 0 tenths. And so now, my decimal point is here. Now my number reads correctly, 48 and 6 hundredths. And that is the end of today's lesson.